I didn't have electricity when I was studying, and why I don't have this? What is stopping me? The curiosity is even today never stopped. I'm not a kind of theory person more. I'm more like a practical person. But believe it or not, a pandemic didn't slow down the progress. I'm going to stop talking to people to get permission. And I wanted to continue to focus on what I want to do the rest of my life.
I think that's actually a really good strategy to take, because most of the time, VCs outside of Silicon Valley in specific are scared of touching hardware. They prefer software, right? Because it's soft and hardware is hard, right? So I think the strategy that you've got in place actually makes sense, because unfortunately with hardware you have to prove yourself.
The industry needs more. The industry still needs some innovation, and industry needs some creativity, some equipment that are not in the market. Many reasons I choose Singapore. The ecosystem is well established. The government have well established a system in place. The competition is high, regardless of from within this region or Chinese suppliers or Chinese customers. It's all about what unique solution you enable them. I would say talent is the biggest headache. We take this to our advantages also. We bring the right people and we train them. Every single person, they have their own creativity. Encourage them in a way that they can be creative in a certain way. You get all these, the negative thought of was being semiconductor. After I joined the semiconductor industry, I felt this is the industry that I should promote more people, because this industry is so fascinated. This industry has so much to offer to the world. This industry that has a non-stop learning curve. But as long as you are persistent and consistent with your message, and you can overcome this. If I restart the clock again, I would have done slightly differently. One of the things that, instead of talking to friends, I should be talking to who I'm going to be serving to. There's an opportunity for everyone. There's a growth for everyone.
We're thrilled to welcome Shri Thirunavukkarasu, CEO and co-founder of Mindox Techno. From leading innovation at Applied Materials to founding Mindox Techno, Shri has revolutionized wafer handling and advanced packaging solutions.
His journey, from growing up in a Sri Lankan village to shaping the future of semiconductor manufacturing in the region, is truly inspiring. Join us as we explore his bold leap into entrepreneurship, overcoming industry challenges, and how his company is competing with global giants.
Get ready for an insightful conversation. Let's dive in.
Hello, and welcome back to the Semiconductor Leadership Podcast. My name is Salah Nasri, and I'm your host. This podcast is designed for those who are maybe industry veterans or curious about semiconductor manufacturing. However, what we're going to be bringing you is the latest in cutting-edge R&D, market insights, leadership strategies from the very best in the industry. But before we start the discussion, I need you, yes, you right there, do me a quick favor. Press that subscribe button on YouTube or Spotify. The more followers we get, the more interesting the podcast becomes. And we get to get special guests like our guest today, Sri, the Chief Executive Officer of Mindox Techno, is on our show. Sri, welcome.
Thank you
to the platform.
Thank you, Pavel.
Great,
Thank you.
great to have you here. Yeah, great to have you, Sri. So tell me about Mindox. I mean, I've when I was told about it, I did a bit of research and etc. I was really surprised about the work that you guys do. So for the audience that's watching, can you give us some insight on the Mindox company?
Absolutely. Thank you. It's the same question again and again asked by our customers also. whenever I go and meet customers, I didn't know about Mindox, but you guys have been doing fabulous job. Where you guys been hiding? Mindox, we basically design and build semiconductor equipment.
Okay.
We build equipment that needed for front end of the semiconductor and the back end of the semiconductors. And we have not done much on marketing ourselves. A lot of activities goes through word of mouth and reaching out to customer in a personal level and telling them what we have been doing it. And but recent years, a lot of customers are reaching out to us through various channels, and it has been picking up in terms of reach out to what is Mindox been offering. Mindox is a recently established organization with a veteran with the semiconductor background, including myself. My DNA is basically semiconductor industry.
Okay.
So basically involved, only thing that I know is basically semiconductor industry.
I see.
So I started my career as being in a semiconductor. And
so hold on, just as if we talk about your studying, so could you share more about when you were at university, what you studied at university, where you studied, and then how you got your first job in semiconductors?
Yeah, before I go to university, I want to go a little bit back.
A little bit more backwards? Okay,
backwards.
Let's go, yeah.
From 9 years old, I mean, I go all the way back to 9 years old. I always, when I study, I didn't have electricity when I was studying in that age. No. Always curiosity come into picture.
Where was this?
It's in Sri Lanka.
In Sri Lanka, okay.
It's a small village called Puttu. We don't have electricity. We study, as my sibling, myself, when studying. It's always myself is curiosity kick in. Why I don't have this? What is stopping me? What I need to do to get this to where I myself moving forward? The curiosity is even today never stopped. So I went to school in Sri Lanka, and I finished half of my high school. Due to the reason I had to relocate myself and my family to Canada, where I finished my high school in Canada. And even in high school, right after the school, I will go run back to lab. And I have to please them. Can you allow me to stay in the lab and play with these small toys and trying to build something, trying to develop something? Luckily, my teachers, and back then, they understood what I'm trying to do. They're always very supportive. They were trying, what are you trying to do? Oh, I wanted to do something. Why are you doing this? What is the benefit of it? I said, no, I think this is going to help people and make their life better. So I get a lot of support from teachers in terms of doing some toys. These toys is all in the building electronics. I'll get some capacitors and transistors, and I'll do my simple calculation and build in a small board. And next day I'll tell teacher, hey, this is what I did yesterday. Oh, cool. Then teachers, okay, let's study a little bit about this. So that kind of motivated me continuously doing something that what is not in the industry. I want to do something beyond what I'm doing today. From that, I went into school. Since my background is electronics, I look at the university curriculum. I'm not a kind of theory person more. I'm more like a practical person. Then I went into a technical school called DeVry Institute of Technology, which is more on the technology side of it.
Where is this university?
This is in Toronto.
In Toronto, in Canada. Okay.
I started, and they had only up to diploma program, and then degree we had to go to US. So I finished my diploma at DeVry in Toronto. Then I went into a degree in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, you went to Arizona State University?
No, it's in DeVry, Arizona.
DeBry. So it's like a partnership between
the both university, because that's where they offer the degree program.
Oh, okay.
So I was there at DeVry. It's a 6-month program, and I finished my degree at DeVry. And then I here graduated, and then I applying jobs. I got an opportunity work in applied material in U.S.
In Santa Clara.
So I got an offer from Santa Clara. I got an offer from Austin, Texas.
Okay.
And I decided to take Austin, Texas, because I wanted to be involved in manufacturing where I can put my hands dirty.
I see.
So I moved to Austin, Texas from Phoenix. I started my career in 1996 in Austin, Texas, in manufacturing. I did a lot of things, and I learned a lot in working in applied manufacturing. Did a lot of improvement, a lot of changes, and it was well connected with the management, well connected with the industries. I did quite a number of achievement while I was in manufacturing. There's kind of achievement for myself and the organization as well.
Which tool were you working on?
So I started with the PVD. And the PVD is basically where the position is basically, at that time is 150 and 200 millimeter. Very small substrate. So I was heavily involved doing a final testing for Intel equipment. After being in applied Austin manufacturing almost 3 years, I thought, you know what, I wanted to understand more about customers. Now I understand the equipment, and I wanted to understand what is this customer using this equipment for. My curiosity never stopped. So then I said, okay, I need to move to where the product is developed. So I moved to California, back in California. And I said, you know what, I wanted to travel and spend more time with the customers. And I found an opportunity to travel to different parts of the world, spend time with the customers.
As a service engineer? Or?
No, I was in a product support engineer.
Okay.
So product support engineer is mainly you work with the customers, implement new product. And there is a local team taking care of the service. And when they are not able to fix the problem or they're not able to execute the things that what they've been assigned, then we will take over and address them. And that's from a hardware perspective and also the process perspective. So this gave me an opportunity to be very close to the customer like a TSMC, pretty much all the major players. And including Samsung, was very excited because now I can see what they are utilizing the equipment that we built and applied, and how they are get to use them and what kind of challenges they have. And that journey continued for more than 10 years. And they called me as everybody run away from problem. I pray when there is a problem that I could jump in.
When there's the fire, jump into the fire.
They called me, Sri, you are one of the crazy people I ran into, because we pray every day. We hope there's no problem. With you, on the other hand, you were praying for problem. I said, that's where the opportunity is. That's where you can learn a lot. That's where you can get your hand dirty. And wherever there is a problem, I've been trying. Wherever there is an issue that I will be flying into to solve. And I was taking the journey, so excited. And then after being more than 10 years, solving these type of challenges and addressing, coming up with the new ideas, feedback to the design team to improve the product. And it's kind of worked well. And I was kind of leading the product development team, managing the entire Asia organization. Then I said, okay, now I have done what I need to be done in as a product development support. Then I moved to engineering. When moving to engineering, there was an opportunity in Singapore for that type of applied material developing a back-end semiconductor division. They call it advanced packaging division in Singapore. So I decided to take the leadership role, developing a semiconductor equipment for packaging industry. Being in the front end, learn about what happened at the front end, understanding the industry well. Now I moved to the back end and developing equipment for back end. understand the back end. It's a different animal altogether. But learning that portion of it is, wow, now I understand the front end, now I understand the back end. And when you connect them both together, I have the whole picture of the semiconductor industry. Now, being an applied to more than 2 decades, I felt, you know what, the industry needs more. The industry still needs some innovation. And industry needs some creativity, some equipment that are not in the market. I said, I feel I should come out and create something that industry is looking for. And I should be the right person to lead that. I came out from Applied and started Mindox Techno. And it's a challenging, but nevertheless, it has been fantastic to work with the customers. The customers that I have connected in the past when I was in Applied, and creating a new customers, solving the customer's problem. The most important is, are you ready to solve customers' problem? Are you giving them the solution they are looking for?
Right.
So that's how the journey started. And so here, being in Mindox, constantly we are developing a new solution. Our objective as part of the Mindox is make our customers giving the solution to their customer friction of the time. So what can we help customers to give a equipment or solution in much faster response and exactly what they are looking for in a fraction of the time? We enable them to bring their product to their end customers much shorter time frame. In that extent, we have quite a number of products. One, what is called a platform. This platform, we develop it for business to business. So similar to Mindox, what is this platform is, we enable wafer handling solutions for any equipment suppliers. Let them focus on their capability, which is a process module, and we will develop a platform. Our platform, their process module, and with the shortest time period, they can give it to their end customers as a complete package. We don't want the process developers to spend time focusing on something they're not in a core. So we take care of the wafer handling and they take care of the process module. That overall development time can be cut into half. So that for them to bring their product to the market, they will now is much faster. So this is what Mindox enable business to business as a platform solution.
Okay. I would be interested, before going in a bit too deep into the actual technology, I'd be interested to understand, Sri, how did you come up with Mindox, the name?
Okay.
And what made you decide I'm going to do this myself?
Yeah, the name of the Mindox is come from a mind of the ox.
Okay.
Okay. So
mind of okay.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what level of research done to understand this, but I was told the ox always thinking for something new.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how depth the research went in to understand that reason behind, but true or not, but most important, we wanted to have that passion.
Okay.
We always wanted to look for something new to enable our customers. So that's where the Mindoxes came in.
Okay. And then of course, I mean, so just to understand, before you decided to create Mindox, you were Applied Materials before.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I want to know is, what made you go, right, I have a very comfortable job.
Absolutely.
Very good salary, I'm sure. Compensation, it's Applied Materials at the end of the day. Working on some great tools. I mean, I remember the first time I saw Endura for the first time. I was like, whoa, this is a Rolls Royce, right? It's a Rolls Royce of a machine. And then you said to yourself, no, I'm going to take the risk and go from zero and start from zero and do this?
Absolutely. Upright is a great company. I learned, and it's still one of the fantastic company. Having a fantastic job, fantastic team, being part of the team. Some extent, everything structured, and day-to-day activities continue flow. I just about to move on to this, and I kind of discussed a couple of folks. Every single one of them thought, "Sorry, you should not do it." And but in my heart, I wanted to do it, and so I decided, you know what, I'm not. I'm going to stop talking to people to get permission. And I wanted to continue to focus on what I want to do the rest of my life. I don't want to, being in a great company, being in a comfort zone, and I wouldn't say it's a comfort zone, but, I feel there's something that outside need me, something that outside that I can do much better. Step that I took, first 6 months, it was painful. In the time to time, I feel that I make a mistake, but I never felt I made a mistake. I always persistent, and I always wanted to continue, and I work hard, double the effort, and continue to put a lot of effort to make it successful. And I talk to the people, talk to the customers that I know, and I pretty much keep the focus. And I decided not to look back. I decided and this is something that I wanted, and I wanted to move forward. So every step I said, okay, how can I jump faster and faster to enable that capability to the customer that I'm working with? So it's been a great journey.
Wow. So what was hard about the first 6 months?
The first 6 months has been, you are in a place that everything is from salary perspective and the benefit perspective, and you wake up and you start driving, and what every second you're going to be doing the job, and everything was structured. Now here you had to be an HR person, you had to be an finance person, you had to
sales, marketing, technology.
You are wearing multiple hats.
Yeah.
1 minute you will be a technical person, next minute you'll be an HR person. Within a few minutes let's take some adjustment.
Yes.
This adjustment I didn't anticipate it, but I took it in a positive way. I thought, okay, this is something, the learning that I should learn and understand people, understand culture, understand other things that I don't have the opportunity back in more as a technical side of it. Now, being a technical leader, but then you also need to look at it from other aspect of it. That's a little bit of the hardest part for the first 6 months. But the effort and discussing with the team, discussing with the external, internal, that has expedited my learning curve. And at the same time, bring the right leaders within Mindox. So I put a lot of focus on how can I multiply few leaders, and that has helped also to bring Mindox where I am today. When if there are time to time customers ask who's the owner of the Mindox, or who leads in the Mindox, and I will simply tell them I have 128 owners. So I feel every employee
is an owner.
Owners of the Mindox. That's how I motivate, and that's how I feel
empowerment.
Absolutely.
And sorry if I didn't ask the question. Is when was Mindox established?
So it was it's been almost 4 years now.
4 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you started it just after the pandemic? Or just just at the beginning of the pandemic?
Yeah. And that's even more challenging.
Wow, that's brave.
Because it was just unfortunate that the pandemic kicked in. But believe it or not, a pandemic didn't slow down the progress.
And maybe the timing was actually good for you because there was a uprise. So you had these equipment manufacturers were selling crazy because of the chip crisis.
Yeah.
And then I believe that their capacity was so full that a company like Mindox can help them very easily, right?
Absolutely. That's what helped us last.
I see. Wow.
Because they will go to companies and they will say, okay, I need 12 months. And Mindox, we would tell, okay, give us a 6 month.
So they'll go, yeah, wow.
So the pandemic has helped because 6 months or 12 months, they are willing to take a risk. And that has helped us to expedite our growth. Because, everybody is talking about years and we are talking about weeks and months in terms of delivery.
Yeah.
And customers' point of view, we need something in months. We cannot wait 1 or 2 years. So this kind of help us to grow, and we have more projects we have done, and that's what we did time.
It was crazy. I remember that. I mean, even us as an association, we only had 2 events that we used to do in the world, and that first year forced us to branch. So we went from 2 to 8, and now we do 12 in the regions. And I realized that even the regions, because of how the semiconductor ecosystem was, the regions became their own supply chain. And I think that's where a lot of the smaller companies were even to full capacity. I used to remember talking to some equipment manufacturers, really, Sri, before the pandemic. I mean, they were struggling with business. And I think the reason why they were struggling is because the competition was just too good. Way too good. And then the pandemic came in, and then they telling me they're full to capacity. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, we're full to capacity. And I'm like, you're not even that good, and you're full to capacity. So it really changed the game. It was kind of an eye-opening situation. So, Sri, tell us more. So tell us in detail, not too technical, but what is it that Mindox provides to the OEMs?
Okay. So we have a 2 business model. One business model is we build product for business to business, like an OEM. And another business model, we have a product that Mindox invented that we sell to the end customers as well.
Okay, so let's talk it into semiconductor terms.
Sure.
So the OEMs, the equipment manufacturers, what's the product that you sell to the OEMs?
The OEM, we sell a platform. It's a platform.
Is it a software? Is it hardware?
It's a combination of hardware and software.
Okay.
So in a term, so if you look at one particular equipment manufacturer, they have, let's say, for example, they have an edge tool.
Yeah, edge tool. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So in order to have an edge tool, you need to have a wafer handling solutions and then edge chamber. This equipment supplier heavily focus on, for them to sell the product to their end customer, they had to develop the wafer handling solution, which is where you take the wafer from low port to EFAM to the vacuum transfer module. And then they also had to develop a edge chamber. For what we tell them, no, you focus on your edge chamber. And you making sure that your edge chamber is one of the world best class edge chamber. We will help you with a platform, what we call it, low port EFAM, the vacuum transfer module, with the hardware and the software, with the best handshaking possible. So we will ship them as a platform, as an entire platform. They will integrate their edge chamber to our platform,
Mm-hmm.
and then they will sell it to their customer as a complete product.
I see. Okay.
So this
So you do that for etch. What about inspection metrology? You do inspection metrology as well?
every customer.
Wet processing?
For dry, wet, and atmospheric and non-atmospheric,
Mhm.
we don't limit to a particular process. We do that for various equipment manufacturers. So major customers, like an Applied Material or Lam Research, they have their own platform. What is helping these medium and small organizations coming up to this industry with their own unique solution? They don't have a capability to handle the platform, and they don't have a capacity also. So for them, they're focusing on their process module. We enable them process module with our platform so they can bring it to the market with the handling capabilities.
Okay.
So that's how we enable this medium to small organization with a complete platform capability.
Okay. So is your target market those customers, the small, medium equipment, or the large ones?
Large one also at time to time they approach us,
Okay.
but they have their own.
Okay.
They have the capacity to develop their own as well.
Okay.
So, but when you talk about medium level, tier 2
Yes.
and tier 3,
Yes.
they don't have enough resource and they don't have enough time, and they don't want to go through the learning curve, because the wafer handling also important. And how do you handle them? You don't want to break the wafers? These are $1,000 wafers, and you don't want to contribute any defects.
I see.
So we tell them, we will help you. We are expert on this, and we will help you. We'll give you the best solution as to what you needed. It's standard as well as customization. So customers to customers, we will tell them, okay, you know how to take what we have as a standard product. If you want something that customized suit you a process module, we will help you accordingly.
Interesting.
So this way, bring their product to the end customer is much shortest time frame.
Okay. And the product for the end users are basically the fabs, the foundries, IDMs, basically.
So most of this process equipment, mainly what we have it for the back end, advanced packaging.
OSATs, are you targeting? Okay.
So one of the things that we recently invented, and we invented a masking application. Basically, when you have a laser dicing, when the wafer goes from front end or when you go to the back end, you have to after back grinding, then you have to dice these wafers.
Mm-hmm.
The conventional dicing method is you have a saw dicing and then laser dicing. Now the industry going toward the plasma dicing. During the laser dicing, there are a lot of debris come into the picture. So what we will do, we will mask the wafer with our own mask. It's a polymer-based mask we invented, and it's a tunable mask based on the laser wavelength. And after wafer dies, and we can wash it away this mask. And we kind of develop this, and we sell the mask, and then we also sell the equipment. And then customer, so if a customer wanted to buy this mask, they had to buy our equipment. So combination of this, so this helping the industry. So there's another recently we launched another product, what we call as a copper passivation tool. We have been working with a university as well as a major industry partner. Last November, we launched this product. It's for copper passivation.
Okay.
What is copper passivation is, if you look at it in a wire bond or any copper pillars or hybrid bonding, when you leave a copper outside, easily oxidize and easily get corroded in a month to come. So what we come up with it, we passivate this copper, where the copper is exposed copper, we passivate them with a special material that we invented working with the university. And now the copper is protected with this passivation. You can leave them outside, or it doesn't get corroded. It doesn't get oxidized. When it comes to automotive application, it's very challenging because you have a lot of sensors, and a lot of these reliability is a major concern, especially with the copper. So we released this product last November. Now it's getting a lot of attention from various customers. So we are doing evaluation. One of the customer that we did evaluation and been successful. We are planning to ship a tool sometime this year.
Oh, congratulations!
Yes,
Congratulations.
yes.
Is this to a foundry or an IDM?
This is more as a IDM.
IDM,
Yeah,
okay, marvelous.
So, but it's no limitation for this patchation. It can be used for foundry as well.
Interesting. So, where? I think this is a very intriguing question to ask you. Where does the creativity come from to be able to create these different products?
So, it's a good question. So, you always trying to find what our customers are suffering with. What is our customers, where they're losing the sleep? What can I help them? What is Mindox can offer them? What is today? What is the technology going to be in the future? And this creativity is just not from me alone, from entire team. Various way we have a regular collaboration with the team, coming up with an idea. Not just a nice to have solution, is what the solution is, what is customer needed. We don't develop a product and then go knock the door. We work with the customers and develop a product so that they can use this product as soon as be completed. All the products that what we have developed so far is all collaborative with the end customers and talking to them. That's how the creativity comes in. Adding on to the creativity is all about, I don't want to give you what exactly customer wants. I want to give you something beyond. And if they wanted to have one technology node, we wanted to give them a multiple technology node so that they can use this tool for different application. So that's how the creativity is.
I see. Why did you choose Singapore?
Yeah, Singapore is many reasons I chose Singapore. The ecosystem is well established.
Right.
A lot of entrepreneurs like myself to start. A lot of the groundwork need to be supported. From that perspective, the government have well established a system in place, and then supply chain and the customer base all around Asia. And for us to talent and the ecosystem was well established, so we didn't have to reinvent the ecosystem. So that's one of the main reasons that I started Singapore. But we expand ourselves to other part of the Asia and world as well. But Singapore, I felt that it will hit. The system was helping us to navigate the whole process.
Interesting. So, I mean, if we're talking about like the industry landscape, then it's quite interesting to actually take into consideration that the equipment manufacturing ecosystem is quite prominent in this region, this ASEAN region. You know, you have in Malaysia, and you've got here. The large companies, the large equipment manufacturers seem to are shifting their manufacturing to this region. That's an opportunity for you. A very big. Now, the question that I do have is, how does China come into play in this region? Let's say the Chinese equipment manufacturers.
The competition is high, regardless of from within this region and or Chinese suppliers or Chinese customers. It's all about what unique solution you enable them, customers, and what kind of capability that you are giving to your customers. For us, we always differentiate ourselves. We can able to customize our product to what customer. So basically tailor-made their need within the capability that we can. not every product that we can tailor make, because then it will become challenging to manage a product also. Within a standard product, we can enable our customers certain percentage of a tailor made. So with that, the supply chain, the ecosystem has already been established by various organizations. We utilize the same ecosystem from suppliers or component manufacturers, or basically the whole semiconductor ecosystem perspective. We use them, but we also have suppliers in China and outside of China as well. That we do have a customers that reach out to us from China as well. We don't have challenges to serve anybody at the stage with the product that we have developed.
So would you say that being in Singapore helps you with the neutrality?
Absolutely.
Okay. In terms of the most pressing challenges that Mindox is facing, whether it's supply chain disruptions, geopolitical factors, or talent shortages. So I'm going to rename those three elements again: supply chain disruptions, geopolitical factors, or talent shortages. Which one of these is your biggest headache?
I would say talent is the biggest headache at this stage. One of the main reason is because many organizations shifting toward to this region. You have to fight with the rest of the major players with talent. But we don't time to time, although being a challenge. But what we do, we take this to our advantages also. We bring the right people and we train them. We put our training program and we motivate them through various training programs that we enable. Because one of the things that Mindox versus other major organizations, they exposed to the whole product development. They understand from engineering. They don't only focus on a certain product. They focus on entire product development. The learning curve for the engineers, or it could be a technician, or it could be anyone within that Mindox, they're exposed to the whole product development software that enable them to understand the whole ecosystem. They take this as a positive way, and they're trying to stay with us because they feel this is what they can continue to learn, versus where you go to a structured organization, you only stay in that small margin.
Because, at the end of the day, what tends to happen is at the larger organizations, those guys are specifically on one process, right?
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing over and over again. But I presume from your perspective, because you've got different projects with different customers, the machine changes based on the design of what the customer gives you, right?
Not only the machine change, but also the engineer get to see the whole entire machine, not portion of the machine. So for them, the exposure is much larger compared to the structured organization. So the talent, it is a major challenge, but we take this as a way to, and plus, myself, I always passionate about being an entrepreneur, but also being a lecturer.
A lecturer,
yeah,
a teacher.
So wherever possible, I volunteer to do some teaching. I teach mainly in India and Sri Lanka, where I bring the team to understand what a semiconductor in the industry is. So I utilize this forum to bring the young generation toward the semiconductor industry.
Why do you do?
So I want them to be exposed. The industry, especially when I graduated, my roommate, my friends, I'm the only one went into the semiconductor industry. Everyone else went to a different industry. And then I was told, Sri, you should not go into semiconductor. It's so complex and it's not a stable organization, and it was you get all these the negative thought of was being semiconductor. After I joined the semiconductor industry, I felt this is the industry that I should promote more people, because this industry is so fascinated. This industry has so much to offer to the world. This industry that has a non-stop learning curve. And now I want this to be given back to the society. I want the others to know what is a real semiconductor is. What you do is not, don't hear the portion of it. Yes, it has an up and down like every other organization, every other industry. But it has a lot of value that you can contribute. So for that matter, I go and promote semiconductor industry and what it's all about to the young generation. So I felt let them make the decision at the second year or third year of their education. I don't want them to go into being a housing agent when they graduated. So I let them decide. So that has been helping. And it's not the intention they have to join Mindox, but, let's create more engineers.
There seems to be like a pattern here. It's like every time you have naysayers or negative things, you do the opposite and it works into favor, right?
Absolutely.
So from your perspective, how does Mindox approach R&D? Are there any, also, could you add also, are there any particular areas of research that you're excited to explore in like the next coming years or so?
We are working with a few major customers, a couple of things, and unfortunately I cannot share them now, but we are working with them, and we also working with the research institute, and also working with the universities across the world, from US to Singapore to others, to explore some R&D, because it's something that is very important. They're active. We have around active 3 projects that we are working with the various partners.
I see. Going into like your leadership philosophy, what would you say, are the core principles that you foster and then push towards a culture of innovation and collaboration within Mindox?
See, but when I was in applied, I had great managers, supporters that create this creativities, and I took some of the learning from them, and I can adapt that same creativity within Mindox. Every single person, they have their own creativity. The way Mindox enable them, be with them, and we encourage them in a way that they can be a creative in a certain way. It could be a technician, how he or she is going to create, how to assemble the product. The creativity is not just only the creating of the product, creating the entire ecosystem. It could be an HR person, how efficient, how she or he can be a creative. So Mindox encourage every member within their organization, how is it important, and how they're playing a creativity, not just a product, the whole entire organization. And we encourage and be very open, and we listen. And the whole organization, the way it works is like equal opportunities, and doesn't matter where the idea is coming from, is well documented, well listened, and we'll give a feedback. Okay, this is where the creativities come. If somebody comes and talk to me about particular ideas, and let's go to try and improve the idea in a better way. So it's the most important is to listen. Most important is admire their ideas and encourage them. So that passion, I continue to do it through Mindox also.
Empowerment.
Empowerment as well.
Empowerment. Looking ahead then, I mean, what are your priorities then for Mindox in the next 5 years?
We have a number of priorities. We wanted to be the number one leader in platform solutions. And so far we are heading toward that directions. I think it's possible because one of the reason is the industry, the development cycle getting smaller and smaller and smaller. In a sense, you don't have 2 years, 3 years to come up with a new product. And if you spend entire 3 years to develop a product, somebody else is going to give a product in 1 year. So our platform solution is going to enable our customers to come up with the next product in a much shorter time frame. For that matter, our platform is going to be very successful to bring the product to the market much shorter. And then also the advanced packaging is becoming more important for the industry. Having these products and other products that we are coming up, going to be launched in next year or two, is going to take their organization in a much better position than where we are today. We all very confident that Mindox is going to continue to grow. And the next 5 years, we're going to be the technology leader and serving the customers across the world. From that perspective, we are in the right path.
So what would be interesting to understand is with Mindox, I mean, you're working with these type of companies. How, I mean, of course, I presume at the beginning was bootstrapped. Did you manage to get like investments, Series A, Series B rounds, or no?
Time to time, this pop up. Time to time, this discussion come, and we also have engaged with the VCs and others. So far, we self-sustain.
Wow.
And it's working well. Having the great people part of the organization is helping us to be in that path. We believe that we should be able to self-sustain for the next few years. But when the right timing, we will bring partners to invest in Mindox. We keep the door open. And I feel when it's the right timing that we will take the path.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's actually a really good strategy to take because most of the time, VCs outside of Silicon Valley in specific are scared of touching hardware.
Yeah.
They prefer software, right? Because it's soft and hardware is hard, right? So I think the strategy that you've got in place actually makes sense because unfortunately with hardware, you have to prove yourself.
Absolutely.
You have to prove yourself. And if you can show self-sustainability with elements of longevity, I think raising won't be a problem.
Yeah, that's the same thing. When we talk to a few VCs in the past, it's all about show me.
Yeah.
Before they can put it in.
Yeah.
So
with regards to the advanced packaging initiative, don't you see that as a bit of a challenge though? Because if you were to one day, I mean, if we talk about the number one TSMC CoWoS, I mean, they're going to have to look at that there's a strong financial backing before they go into a certain company. How are you going to handle that situation?
It has been, especially when you work with major players, be it TSMC or be any major players, one of the things is who they want to choose.
Right.
Yeah, because the same reason what you mentioned, I'm going to buy a product from a organization just coming up with a product, and are they going to be here around when I need them? The questions comes up. But the values you create and being consistent with your product that you are offering to them and showcase what can you offer them and where it's helping, but it's also challenging. So for that matter, what we do, we'll, of course we go to tier 1, we will work with the tier 2 and tier 3 and to prove who we are and collect some data, then take that information and the record that we have and reach out to the media players. From that extent, we ship our first product to TSMC through the channel also.
Interesting. From your career, what would you say was the hardest part in your career? What is the most challenging experience you ever had in your whole career? What would be the number one hardest part of your career?
There are many. You know, it's just putting your message across and convince anyone. It may not be any straightforward. You're making a step. One good example, leaving from Applied and starting a Mindox is the hardest. And what can you show to the organization? What can you show to the industry? And the decision that you are making, and not only for customers, but even for my family. Convince my family that I am making this step. And it's the hardest. But as long as you are persistent and consistent with your message, and you can overcome this. But it may take some time. But I have these kind of hardest challenges. And I started working when I was 12 years old. I haven't stopped. And when I was in school, I go for school from 9 to 3:30 and run back to home if I am not in the lab, and take a lunch and run back to work and come back at the midnight. And being ready for this school tomorrow is always been my journey. I started this from I'm 12 years old until today. But it's always motivating me because I feel there are something I can do better than what I did yesterday. So the journey is constantly pushing me, you have not done what you're supposed to do. And so there are more things you can do. That is really helping me to continue with my passion, continue with my journey. So I take the hardest path to my advantage.
What was the work you did when you were 12 years old?
I was doing a supermarket, and I work in a restaurant and all kind of stuff. But it's helped.
Yeah.
It's helped because when you really understand this is not what I want to do the rest of my life, and I have to study hard, and with this, I felt if I didn't work, maybe I would not get a GPA that I achieved when I graduated. As I got 3.95 out of 4, even when I was going to school, because you trying to maximize every single minute of it. You are waiting for something, you study. When you wait for something, you have only certain hours or time per day for yourself. So trying to maximize the time is a value that you can create. If you have so much time, you're trying to leave things for tomorrow. So for me, I have this much time, I have to maximize it. So this maximizing the time is helping me to do better than what I have done yesterday.
What's the most proudest moment of your career?
It's many. When I was in Applied, there are many success stories that I have created. There are many of them, worth millions of dollars to save the organization. There was a time, it was December 23rd, that I was asked to fly to US to serve a customer, which is an IBM. I was at IBM December 23rd. I was from Singapore. I fly into IBM because the only reason I was asked to go because nobody else wanted to go during the Christmas holiday. We have one important product that we had to complete before the year end. And I never work on the product. I never touched the product. I didn't know about the product. And long story short, before the end of the year, I solved the problem and I managed to survive the project. What is human, I believe in human power is when you have a fixed timing, how much you can achieve within the time period, even though you don't know what is in the background. So these are the challenges that I have faced when I was in applied and outside of applied as well. So there are a lot of proud moments that I
And you saved the game.
Yeah.
From your experience, your life experience, who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
I think it's my mother, because we lost our father when we were 10 years old. We have a big family, and bring us up to where we are. She has a determination. She has the power. She has the will, and she knows we're all young. And how do we bring them what she had? What she had, she able to bring us to where we are. I think this is what is inspiring me, and then I wanted to do more than what she has done to us. Of course, there are many other people also, but to talk about within my family, I think it's my mother's biggest impression.
And your biggest influence?
Biggest influence, there are a few also. My wife is one of the biggest.
Yeah.
And
is she in semiconductors as well?
No, she's not. She's a different background. She's been with me and supportive, and she's able to support me every step where I have been, and every step that I make a decision, time to time that I need to talk to her and explain. It may be some challenges here and there, but overall, she has been biggest influencer for my success.
Marvelous. What would you say to those that are just about to start their own ventures, taking up, leadership roles in our semiconductor industry? What would you say to them?
Yeah, if I restart the clock again, I would have done slightly differently. One of the things that instead of talking to friends, I should be talking to who I'm going to be serving to. Because friends can give you ideas, but the friends will not be able to tell you the destination. The customers give you better expectation and ideas and destination that you need. So the young who want to be an entrepreneur, that wanted to come into the semiconductor industry, what is the most important? That they need to talk to the end customer that they're going to be serving to. Understand what they are looking for. Understand what is the industry's need. These end customers can give you a lot of ideas and challenges and expectation. That doesn't mean that they're going to buy your product, but at least they will give you some kickstart that you needed for the industry. So that's what I would have done it differently rather than talking to my friends around.
Yeah. But now it's quite crazy because, even now the customer for myself and my friends now are very close, very, very close friends. And, it's so true what you said, because I look back at, we started our organization in 2010. And we had a differentiator, but it was okay. Business was good. It was okay. It was challenging, very challenging. And in 2015, our friends at Intel and TSMC, they said to us, in 2015, this is, focus on advanced packaging. Heterogeneous integration, advanced packaging, focus on it. And we did. And we didn't gain much. in that time. In terms of, it was like the steady audience, steady community. I mean, we had our KLAs, our LAMs, Onto Innovation. Well, then it was called Rudolph Technologies, Applied Materials. They were all our key sponsors supporting us. But then 2020, 2021 happened. And then people knew that we were the only ones that were focusing heavily on advanced packaging, and everyone started piling in.
Absolutely.
All companies coming in left, right. So even the design houses, we never were targeting IC design houses. Even the IC design houses want to know about advanced packaging now. So all these guys started coming in left, right, and center. So it's a very, very important thing is that focusing on the customer's perspective.
Yeah.
Because they normally have a heads up in advance.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you'd like our listeners to know about Mindox, or maybe your leadership philosophy or the future of the industry before we wrap up this discussion?
Yeah, see, Mindox is very committed. We are continuously serving the customers with a standard product or customized product. We are very committed. We are up and down, some challenges, but we never stay behind. We will continue to work with the customers. We pre-engage with the customers to serve them. We never stay in a small circle. We try our best to expand ourselves and extend our capability to the customers. It could be from a platform perspective or end application perspective. Last couple of days ago, I had a customer. I was in the customer meeting. The customer asked me, "Sri, I have around 100 R&D engineers. And how many R&D engineers you have?" And I told him I have 3 PhD in my organization. And he has around 100 R&D engineers.
Mm.
And how can you come with these ideas, but which I couldn't get it done
with 100
engineers? And my answer was that I don't have any fallback system. They have a fallback system. I don't have a fallback system. Every idea is my idea. Every idea that we created is for you. For them, it is because they have a fallback system, because they have well-structured system in place, so they're trying to stay within the system. Mine does create a solution. We don't have a fallback system. We can come up with any idea, any solution, and this solution is for you. Openly, we share with you. So this is what value that we are adding to you. So this is how Mindox is coming up with a solution to our end customers. Even though we are small, we never stay back saying, okay, this is not what we do. We will figure it out. We'll try our best to come up with a solution to the customers. We are not limiting to what we offer today. We will continue to come up with a various product to offer to customers. And as a quality product, we also understand the industry today. There's no such a thing called prototype and beta and release. When today industry you develop it tomorrow, I want to put it in a production.
Yes.
So we understood. So we also try to be creative enough. When we develop a product, we know that this product is going to be running 24/7 tomorrow. So what can you do? The product that you are developing, it will not be in a prototype product that you can put it in a product. So we go into the system. We're trying to understand what else we can do. The product will run 24/7. So these are some of the creativity that put in to make our product to be equal or the same as everybody else is offering to the market. And one of the other things, Mindox, is that we very strong software team. The software team develop a product, the software, because when you work on a hardware is a piece of metal. How do you make this metal to move and do the job that you need it to do? The software team need to play a role. So the software team given an equal opportunity to make it better. And that's something that Mindox differentiates from other small equipment manufacturers, because we don't depend on other software organization to develop it for us. We develop a software in-house. So this giving an opportunity for our hardware team and our software team and our process team to collaborate together and create a product that a customer wants. As much as possible, we do it in-house. We except the fabrication portion of it, we will of course fabricate. But everything else that be in-house to make the product that what we need for the customers.
Marvelous. Sri, thank you so much for the wonderful discussion. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
To have you on the Semiconductor Leadership Podcast. We will be rooting for Mindox growth and success, and I look forward to the next time I interview you, and hope to see that Mindox has blown up and become the number one company in the platform field.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's absolutely wonderful being here and to be part of this podcast and plus, and I'm looking forward to have this again.
Definitely. Sri, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Thank you.